This season has some very, very strong teams, a very strong participation count as well. So I'm very much looking forward to the quality of games we'll have this season. In this case, it's a best of 3 format, with each team having a pick at the map, and I believe the third map either being random or being predetermined. So for those tuning in, let's reintroduce the players. On the side of PK, we've got Wisanji here playing Aranos. We've got Icy Pole here playing Loki. And we've got 7 Up here playing Aranos. On the right side, we've got Sensei playing Aranos. In the middle, player playing Poseidon. And Fen playing Zeus. And let's take a look at the quick map placements here. Gold mines for Fen being nice and back, defensible. Player having not great but not terrible gold mine. And Sensei having a pretty decent gold mine. Well, it doesn't matter that much because he's Addy. On the left side, 7 Up having a pretty bad gold mine, but close enough to the town center that it's not horrible. Over here, Icy Pole having a very good back gold, and similar with Wisanji having a very good back gold. Though not covered by towers, actually, so this gold mine is not the best. Let's take a quick look at which relics are on the map here. Wadget Eye over here, making Mythians cheaper, very useful. More so useful for the Loki in the classical, but useful for all players. Over here we've got human soldiers more resistant to pierce attacks. In the middle, infantry does more damage to titans. That's actually quite relevant against Sensei, who's probably going to make a titan every game. On the right side here, Bow of Artemis, strong relic as well. And here, pretty much an irrelevant relic. In terms of the town center placements, Wisanji kind of has excuse me, thanks for that. So in terms of town center placements, we can see that our TSM team has a lot more defensive town centers, but in general this map has pretty aggressive town centers. Kind of each player having one safe back town center and then one very contestable front town center. can see all players getting here to the classical at roughly the same time, uh, with no real surprises in terms of minor god choice. Quick reminder of the gods here for the players. So we should see Icy Pole getting aggressive here with this Herseer, and nice job here pushing Fen off Hunt. We also see these Herseers being backed by Wiz's Prometheans, and a nice table being put down here by Fen, which will prevent the Loki player, or the raids altogether, from getting in this location on the back of these walls as well. We see play here grabbing a second town center, being in the pocket for TSM. And that goes up with not a problem. So on the left side, we've got a Centaur coming in the back here. That's gonna be pretty annoying for Icy Pole because he has no Herseer there to back those fills up. And he's gonna manage to pick off at least one Vil, while these Herseer for Icy Pole himself aren't really finding much. He did a good job pushing off Hunt at the beginning, but hasn't had really any luck with his raids since then. Wiz is coming in the back here and is gonna manage to find players food. At the same time, Icy Pole was able to get some Herseer back to defend his Hunt, so that Centaur is going to be pushed back. Over here, nice job surrounding the hero, getting some hits. If you guys are new to Age of Mythology, one of the powers that Loki has is that when he makes these units Herseer and he fights with them, he can summon myth units. Over here we had 7-Up, forcing Sensui to very temporarily garrison, but quickly his army comes to the rescue and he's back to gathering resources. Down here we see Sensei being pushed back as well, right here in the middle, taking some hits during retreat, but nothing too bad. Here we see Fen's got quite a nice boom going on. This lag is getting pretty bad, so I hope these players are going to consider saving, or at least pausing to fix the connection. We've got a complete freeze for a little bit there. And as a result of that lag, which seems to be Sensei, he loses a villa, which is pretty big back here, because he's still in one town center. At the same time, player here comes to the rescue, and Sensei should have no problems getting this town center up. This is actually played on Voobly, not on Steam. If you're interested in joining, check out voobly.com. So some very nice job pushing them back here, but now Sensei's towers are up, so this is going to have to be a retreat. And PK losing a decent amount of units there in that backing. But at the same time, even though they're fighting under multiple tower fire, they're still managing to do a lot of damage to Sensei's units here. Ven here is quite disrupted for a while now, undisrupted for a while now, so he's managed to get a nice boom going. If you're just tuning in now, TSM won the first game on Medit. And some nice walls being thrown down here by a player. You can see he's got a really strong boom going on. Let's take a quick look at the vill counts while there's no interesting fighting happening. You can see here players significantly above in terms of the vill counts, but then again there are some addy players, so you pretty much multiply that by 3 to get their accurate counts. So Wiz does have a nice boom going on now. He's on 3 town centers, but Icy Pole is quite far behind, which is typical for a Loki player, though he's almost up heroic here. The only thing that's a little bit unfortunate is that he's lost quite a bit of units. He doesn't have that many Herseer, but at the same time his flaming weapons attack could still be devastating. He's probably got enough resources to get a few battle boars out, have a really effective push in, I don't know, a few minutes. So you can see the PK team trying desperately to stop this town center from going up, and that's not where their army's headed, so that's not going to happen. Sensei does have a pretty tough third town center though, so he's going to be probably on 2 for a while. At the same time we see player going for some Hippocon raids there, but not really finding anything. Actually that's not quite accurate. He looks like he's managed to kill an ox cart, losing only 1 unit, but forcing Icy Pole to keep his Herseer back by his his resources rather than going and doing a flaming weapons push. And Wiz finding nicely reacting to this Hippocon push on this town center, and they're actually able to get a good amount of damage on those retreating units. But here comes the double from TSM. Oh, slight miscommunication here though. And well, even with this double now, with the units lost and Wiz getting his whole army here, those Murmillos are going to take down those Hippocons if a fight would happen. At the same time, Wiz actually managed to get a fortress up here and defended a push from these Hippocons, so that means he's going to be able to grab his third town center. While Sensei is going to be stuck on 2, but likely going heroic and then Titan in not too much time. Here, though, we see a push coming from the Loki. Keep in mind, guys, he cannot cast flaming weapons because there's still a ceasefire from player and from Fen. We see a nice misclick there, unfortunately, for Icy Pool. Ceasefire can block a flaming weapons, but Fimbulwinter lasts about 26 seconds to 28 seconds and will block other god powers from being cast. So what he meant to do was cast flaming weapons, then Fimbulwinter, but he misclicked his flaming weapons, unfortunately. Some very nice aggression going on here. Sensei is going to be hurt quite a bit from this push, it looks like. Though they do, again, they do have the 2 ceasefires. So he's not going to be dead for a while still if they do push well. Curse actually being used defensively, as well as player has a lot of Hippocon running around here. So 7-Up needs to kind of regroup his army after that curse, and hopefully manage to take a 4th town center and steal Sensei's. Because at this point the Zeuses are huge and they're going to be ready to start their pushes soon. We've actually got Fen being 75% Apollo. And let's take a look at the player. Is he going Mythic yet? Yeah, he's 25% Hephaestus. So time is running out for PK. They need to make something happen. But that's not really going to be possible with the 2 ceasefires from player and Fen. As well as 7-Up actually losing the fight here, getting completely pushed back by all this massive Hippocons. So that's bad news for the PK team. Same time, we've got Wiz actually trying to grab some map control against Fen here, pushing forward with his buildings. Terma going to find some raids, and Tartarian Gate being placed here by 7-Up. It's a very, very nice placement of the Tartarian Gate, attacking town centers and disrupting the gold here. So Sensei under a lot of heavy fire this game, doing a good job defending against this double, while his 2 partners get pretty huge. And you see they might actually catch Sensei's town center here, which is 50% Hecate, so that would be a very nice catch for PK team. But at the same time, no, these Hippocons are here, and Sensei's army is here, so they're going to have to retreat. What is Teal doing currently with his army? He's just kind of doing some raids. He still has flaming weapons in the bank, but I mean, he doesn't really have many units. It looks like he's trying to get his economy going. He's just not really a big presence right now. Sensei's still off gold though, so he must be getting gold from his teammates. But then there's a 2v1 here on 7-Up because Icy doesn't really have many units. Over here we have Wiz pushing hard on Fen, who is likely getting ready for his underworld push. Yeah, he's 75% up fastest, but Wisp casts his Tartarian Gate here by Fen to delay his ability to make the underworld push. And actually Fen's the only one with underworld. Player will not have an underworld push, but that, I guess, together they don't need two underworlds necessarily. Here we see micros all his units quickly on the Tartarian Gate, and a ceasefire being cast to prevent this town center from going down. So I expect this, yeah, 7-Up is now going to go up to 4 town centers, and he's got a very strong destroyer army. Needs to go heavy destroyers soon, however. So one ceasefire being used now. If they can bait out Fen's ceasefire, then Loki will be free to actually cast flaming weapons. He does have a very nice army of battle boars now, so he doesn't even really need flaming weapons to be effectively pushing around areas of the map. We see he has a big army coming here to players' base, but he quickly reacts by making his best hero, as well as getting some vills ready to repair the wall if it gets attacked. And Icy decides to go elsewhere instead. Meanwhile, if we look over here, I don't see Green's army, but he's starting a Titan Gate. Pretty risky to not put more bills on it, because an underworld could be coming their way. At the same time, Sensei is doing his classic Titan Gate. And 7-Up has a very strong push here. Where did Blue's army go? Over here to defend his base. So great job casting flaming weapons there, forcing Blue to bring his army back, opening the way for 7-Up to push into this base. And if he was microing these destroyers on the towers or on the buildings, he would have basically crushed the only two things defending this Titan Gate so far. At the same time, they are still saving their ceasefire, so this flame weapons didn't really work out that well for them, because as soon as this army gets down to the Titan Gate, they're just going to cast their ceasefire. We see a Pegasus Scout coming in, but there's a tree there, so the Underworld can only go so close to the Titan Gate. But that is going to be enough to kill this Titan Gate, due to there not being a lot of vills building it, and nothing around to defend it. At the same time, a Tartarian Gate being placed by Sensei at 7-Up's base. So this is really looking bad for PK. Titan Gate going to be going down here. Sensei's Titan Gate. It looks like they're trying to buy enough time before they seize, take this Titan Gate down, and then cast Seize. But yeah, very critical moment in this game. Who's going to go down? Titan Gate getting really low. Sensei still has all the vills building a Titan Gate, but there's a lot of units there, and the tower manages to delay this area. What's going on here? The Titan Gate's still sitting at 1k HP. Here we have two Colossus coming in. This Titan Gate's going to go down really quickly. 500 health on both Titan Gates. But there's two Colossus here. This is going to go down, and now they can cast Seize if they need. And there it goes. Wow, what a fight. So great defense there, good presence of mind by TSM team to not cast Seize too early, get the Titan Gate down, and then cast their own ceasefire, making sure this Titan Gate gets quite high. So this is looking very grim for the PK team. They are down flaming weapons, and they're going to be down a Titan. There's pretty much no way for them to stop this Titan Gate from going up. At the same time, they do have 1 TC advantage across the board, but they're against 2 Zeuses, who have a lot stronger late game at this point, and who seem to all stabilize. Like, everyone's mythic now. At the same time, they still have to deal with this underworld push, which is not really possible. Plus, they've got a tree as well. So they're on the defensive. They can't really stop this Titan Gate. It's interesting to see how they're going to go about getting back in this game. Here we see 7-Up pushing forward, but he's going to be facing a double here because player and Sensei's armies are all here at the same time. Fen is doing an incredible push on Wisanji's back, having underworlded in, and these Colossus are going to slowly take him down. So he's not going to last much longer. At the same time, this Titan's going to go up, so I believe this is going to seal the deal for TSM here. Very nice play in that critical moment for the ceasefire. Good communication. It's easy to pull the trigger when you see your own Titan gates getting incredibly low, but they managed to stall long enough to get the other Titan gate down first. And now Wiz is dead, and this double here, PK is gonna get pushed back. And there's the resign button. You decide to officially throw in the towel. Well played. GG. Let's take a quick look at the post game here. Economy wise, the Zeus's are all going to get ahead because they did a nice boom. And 7-Up actually gathering the most wood because he managed to get 4 town centers and a nice economy rolling. Military wise, Sensei actually killing the most units because the units are attacking his base all the time. But also losing a lot of units as well. 7-Up losing so many units in that game because he had to keep pressure on the opponents. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Those were the 2 games for PK versus TSM. Tune in tomorrow for more exciting matches, including DODC versus Regen at I believe 21 GMT, might be 22 GMT.